and develop our country in the new Uganda.
Now, gentlemen, you made a very big mistake. We had trust in you. But since you decided to stand against the flag bearer, first of all, you violated all the party values. Think about the revolutionary discipline where you had to accept the results. No, you are no longer trusted. You lost the trustworthiness. You are no longer reliable, and you lost the integrity.
Obligation of you as a member of the party, that you have the obligation to abide and protect our party constitution. Article 5C also tells you that if anyone stands against the party flag bearer and then cease to be a member of national unity.
Your candidate is no longer a member. That's what you are moving.
Yes.
You can
President Bobi akukobera tusibe bugaito sikutikinga engaito lyo wega kuzo. We have a foreigner here.
Allow you for permission to call it compliment. We came with this to you, and it comes up to my concern that indeed, Honorable His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is the true leader of Uganda. Lastly, I want to categorically state that you do not, according to your manifesto, you do not have to be an elite to work for the people or to execute duties for the people. NUP manifesto is the only way to go.
People power.
Those are the alumni from our School of Leadership. And also Makulunji. Yomu yanibwanita akati okusoma era essomero lyaffe ebyo bivuddemu mu ssomero lyaffe. We hope to expand the capacity of the school. Of course, it's regrettable that this government has inducted our leaders of the school, but at least you can see the value that comes of that out of that investment. Because we have currently is working against you, not for you. No one would not want to have a school which gives us such products, such levels of creativity. Naye tulowooza nti mwenna abadde balaba mutegedde ensonga eziri mu manifesto yaffe. At this point, our time is fast spent, but also conveniently, we plan that when it reaches this time, we can present the popular school feeding program. So the next priority area is the school feeding program, which is going to be presented by our party treasurer, Honorable Benjamin Katana. You're welcome.
People power, our power, NUP, everywhere. You know, it's very dangerous to talk about feeding at a time when people are beginning to feel hungry. I'll take a short time. Mr. President, our distinguished leaders, and all of you citizens, fellow citizens gathered here, and those that are watching us from elsewhere. I am here to share one of the priority areas in our manifesto, which is about the school feeding program. As a nation, we have had the misfortune of being led by a group of incompetent and unambitious people who only measure success on the basis of the past. And as a result, they have made some sections of our society equal and ambitious. And when we present a very fine picture of how a new Uganda, the future will look like my colleagues have ably done, there are many people who doubt whether it will be implemented or not. The school feeding program is a multi-sectoral, multi-purpose, and multi-dimensional program that is intended to achieve about 4 objectives under the bigger idea of NUP's plan for improving the quality of life of Ugandans. Because a government which cares about its people, a government which is people-centered, will automatically focus on improving the quality of life of the citizens. So the first objective under this plan, the plan is basically about providing a meal to the school-going children at primary level every day, a hot meal that is nutritious. And of course, we are going to do a survey, and the materials will be sourced from the homesteads in this country. So the first objective is to boost household incomes. And how do we intend to achieve this? We intend to elevate the household in Uganda into a production unit that will produce these raw materials that will be procured for purposes of feeding the children at school. If you are in an area, for example, that produces soya bean, and we know that it's a nutritious product that will help to boost the growth of these children, that will help to eliminate malnutrition-related diseases, then the investment will be in soya bean to make sure that the different households in that area are supported to produce soya bean, which will be procured by the school to feed the children. If you are from a fishing community and you have silverfish mukene, or you have fish, the investment of the NUP government will be in that sector to make sure that the households are able to supply the school with this product and earn money, but also feed the children. If you are from a milk producing community, and we have so many people who have been struggling with market for their milk to the extent that sometimes you see they are pouring it, sometimes they are selling it at 200 shillings a litre, when in Kampala it is 2,000 a litre. We are going to provide a market at the nearest school. The government of NUP will procure the milk, feed your children will be healthy, but your pockets will also be healthy. The other aspect related to that, away from boosting the household incomes, is boosting agriculture. Agriculture is the leading employer in this country. However, it has not received sufficient support from government. And one of the challenges that the farmers face is a lack of market for their products. I've given you an example of milk, and there are several other examples where people are struggling to find market for their products. Sometimes they are even cheated by the middlemen and middlewomen, but also cheated by the so-called industrialists who are protected by the cartel whose ambition is only to extract money from the population. So now we want to create a market at the nearest school in your community to make sure that now your products will be sold to the school, you will earn money, your children will feed, and they will learn well. The other aspect related to that is fostering better learning environment. A hungry child cannot concentrate in class. By the statistics of government, itself, today, the dropout rate in primary school is 68%. By implication, it means that out of 100 people who enroll in P1, 68 of those 100 don't complete P7. And that is a time bomb. And my colleagues have ably explained the other interventions that our government is going to come up with, including the increment on the capitation grant from the 6,000 per term to a more reasonable figure. But we are now also, in addition to that, going to introduce feeding of children at school so that people are not driven out of class by hunger to go to prison like the ones that the Honorable Mwanga was talking about. Even in school, you see, children are comfortable going to jail because they are assured of dinner. But now we want to make sure that they are comfortable going to school because they are assured of a meal, and a nutritious meal. Fellow citizens, the other intervention related to that is about the elimination of malnutrition. Every household in Uganda today spends a lot of money, and which money most households do not have, on meeting medical bills for taking children to hospital. And most of these children fall sick because of low immunity levels, because of poor feeding. So by feeding these children with a hot, nutritious meal every day, we are going to reduce the cost of medical bills significant amounts by making sure that the children are healthy, they are feeding well, and they are learning. They are not missing school because they are sick, and the parents are not spending money they don't have on them to meet medical bills because they are healthier. And so many people have been asking, when we have been talking about this, the school feeding program, that how are you going to implement this? We intend to implement it through by working closely with PTA, the Parents Teachers Associations. Most of them under the current regime have collapsed. But we are going to work hard to make sure that we restore them, that we strengthen them, so that they can be leading stakeholders working with government, but particularly working with the community development officers at the sub-county for purposes of coordination to make sure that this program is implemented. We are also going to make sure, especially in areas where production of these nutritious things is a little bit complicated because of climate and other things. And we have other interventions like irrigation that my colleagues have talked about. But we are also going to make sure that we strengthen the production unit of state agencies like Uganda prisons, so that they can be able to produce for some parts of the country that are not able to produce some of these products. And fellow citizens, this intervention also has a multiplier effect, in a sense that if the schools in a certain sub-county in Chusa are procuring eggs for the school, it means that even the person who makes the chicken feeds is going to get business. It means that some young people are going to get jobs to work in the poultry farm. It means that some young people are going to get jobs to work in the feeds factory. So this program is comprehensive, and it is intended to cover a number of dimensions. How do we intend to do this? We intend to spend 1,500 on each student per day. And we are targeting 5 million children for the initial program. The total cost of this comes to around 1.5 trillion to implement this. And many people have been asking that where are you going to get 1.5 trillion from? My colleagues have given you a clear picture of what is happening in Uganda, and our president has been emphasizing that Uganda is a rich country, but we are poor. We are poor people. Because the statistics of the Inspectorate of Government have placed the money lost to corruption to about 9 trillion a year. And for us, we are looking for 1.5 trillion to feed our children. That is a very insignificant part of the money that is lost. We have been told about the mineral wealth that this country is blessed with. Our responsibility is to utilize the wealth for the benefit of the citizens. And so many people have been asking that there is a program going on called Parish Development Model. That how is it going to continue surviving under the NUP government? NUP government is a pro-people government, is a pro-development government. And what has not been managed well, our responsibility is to manage it well. The money that people are being given, for example, to go and invest in whichever they please, without training, without proper alignment with the market forces, for us we shall invest it in making sure that households produce food which will be procured by the schools in their communities. And by doing so, the little money that they are given will have a big impact, not just on their income, but on the health of their children and the health of the nation. I thank you.
Thank you so much. If you think that 1.5 trillion is a lot of money, remember that Uganda, under the NRM government, has since spent 1.24 trillion on Lubowa Hospital project, which remains a construction site at best. So the problem is not the lack of finances, it is the misuse of those finances. Thank you so much. We are going to welcome Madame Ram to Apio Flavia, who will present about how we are going to stop land grabbing, which we think is a very serious challenge in this country that has affected all the other forms of development, because we believe that land is a very crucial factor of production and any other form of development you want to do. She will also be joined by Ms. Natalie Margaret, who will present about empowering regional and local governance. Thank you so much. I will welcome the able ladies who will come and present that quickly. Let's utilize the time that we have.
People power. Our power.
People power.
My name is Ramto Flavia Apio from northern Uganda, Omoro district. I bring you revolutionary greetings from all the villages of Omoro district. Firstly, because we are the first-hand victims of land grabbing in Uganda today. For many of us, for millions of Ugandans, if not all, we live in fear of losing our land, not to natural disasters, but to government officials, to government actors, and to many investors in the disguise of conservation. However, we bring a new Uganda. No wonder, us from northern Uganda are very eager for the new Uganda. We are eagerly waiting. It's 3 months now. And I assure you, it is protest votes up there. Since 2006, my brothers from the north can testify. The Uganda Wildlife Authority gazetted the areas of our power in the disguise of conservation, I repeat. And our people of Madi and Acholi were forcefully and bitterly convicted from their lands. Many years later, they were given unsatisfactory compensation. This has led to a lot of people picking arms against each other. Madi and Acholi have lived together from the times of our ancestors. But after this, we saw a lot of us picking arms against each other. We saw us picking pangas, fighting each other. Convictions have become a big issue in northern Uganda because it has torn our communities apart. Not just the communities of Acholi, but the communities of West Nile, of Karamoja, of Lango. But here's the good news. The National Unity Platform that seeks election to government looks to address visible solutions to these pending issues. First, land and tenants by enforcing legal safeguards for minor landowners and tenants. We'll also look at secure customary land rights by reviewing current past land transactions and taking concrete steps to restore land to rightful owners. We're also looking at having registration of all land, from a small landowner in Amuru to a big landowner in Entebbe. All your land is registered, because why not? As young graduates, NUP also seeks to support us to use technology to establish a homegrown IT system using the blockchain technology that is a secure digital system. The graduates in the house, you need to be very excited, because finally we shall have jobs in the new Uganda. This will accommodate registration of all land, I repeat, and they'll have no more forged and fraudulent titles. We're seeing a lot of people losing their land because the powerful and the people in the government are using fraudulent means to get titles. The National Unity Platform sticks with a bold vision on land rights where no one lives in fear of possible eviction, unhealthy conflict, fraudulent acquisition of titles, closing loopholes of land grabbing and neglected land rights. Thank you so much, and people power, our power, our power, people power. Afoy down Dutch, Miku Malme Uganda, Mi Central Uganda, Mika Weng Uganda. Anya Ramta Apio Flavia, Agio Moro District. Team Area 7, Maloro Lokamanu Ngom, Padang, Miku Malme Uganda. Kiluku Lokangom, Uganda Wakanti. Watiye National Unity Platform, Kawaji Wabikelu repair, Minamuni, Momu, Mi Paluta there, Pikikwani, one Paluta there, Pikimga, Pikikwani one Paluta there, another Uganda, Pikikwani one Paluta there, and when Uganda can afford
Uganda is such a beautiful place. Thank you so much. We appreciate. We love you. We recognize the pains of our people who have lost their land and this government. But she talks about the fact that we want to create a system where people can access digitally. Your land title and right escape should not be a secret. That it is hidden somewhere. Obaliriwa ekyapa kiriwa sobola okuteekawo system eyakalimagezi esobola okusobozesa ffe ng'abannansi okulaba ettaka lyaffe nekituyambako abantu abagala nnyo okubba ettaka because they complicate the systems. That said, there is a special person, special to me and special to the team from this side, who has been breaking down the manifesto on their social media platforms. Those of you asking how can I understand the manifesto further, you'll go to Natavi's social media platforms and all their content is there. Allow me in a special way to welcome her to talk about regional and local government's devolution. The real one, not the one they pretend about. Thank you.
Thank you so much. People power. Our power.
People power.
A protocol observed. My name is Margaret Natavi. I am from Mukono municipality. And today I'm going to talk about priority number 8, which seeks to empower regional and local governance through real devolution. Now, when you're talking about devolution, we are basically speaking transfer of powers from the central government to the local government or regional government. And you should pay more attention to the word real, because someone from this government is going to come and argue that, oh, we have devolution, we have decentralization, but it is not real. Ladies and gentlemen, the decentralization in the interim government is pseudo, but the NUP government wants to bring to you real devolution. We want to have a region or a local government that has real power. Power to give you the public services you deserve, power to make sure they make decisions that affect you, the common person. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to, with a very painful heart, I want to inform you that the local government, I want to bring to your attention that the local government only gets 7.2% of the total national budget. While we are supposed to do 70% of the work you see this government is doing. Why? If you didn't know, the local government is in charge of your roads. All those roads you see that do not connect to the roads that are constructed by UNRWA are done by the local government. The health centers you see in your community or in Uganda, they're under the care of the local government. The public schools or government schools you see in your area, they're under the care of the local government. But we get funding that is way less. And this national unity platform government wants to end that. Our promises are only 4 in the new Uganda when it comes to local government. Because we know when we work on the local government, every Ugandan out there is going to receive the public services they need. Number 1, we want to bring what we call the National Devolution Dialogue Council. This is going to be like a committee that is going to be revising, because before the NRM government came, or the governments before, we had regional governments. We didn't have these many districts we have today. When the NRM government came and they bring the Local Government Act, they have been trying to break down the districts to the many 140 plus districts we have today. They are not breaking down the districts to improve the public services to you. They are basically breaking up districts to increase the votes, to increase the number of MPs in parliament that support the NRM. Now, for us, we are bringing this council to make sure we discuss. The council is going to have religious leaders, cultural leaders, civil leaders, and regional leaders to discuss. If we went back to regional governance, how would Uganda be? And this council, we want to bring it in 2026, immediately after swearing in. We come up with this council. Number 2, I come with sad news for anyone here or anyone watching who was waiting to become an RDC in the NUP government. One thing we are going to delete immediately we get power are the office of the RDC, assistant RDC, deputy RDC, because they just taking our money has not to improve services. I must tell you that the LC2 leaders, they get 10K, 10,000 Uganda shillings per month, and this money comes at the end of the year. For recent parliament sat and they agreed to increase their money to 50,000. This government doesn't love you, dear Ugandans, because most of these LC one chairpersons are NRM, but they get 10,000. That's why you see them out of office every time. That's why you see them increasing the amount of money you have to pay to get a stamp, which you would get a free of charge. Now, we've been telling you Ugandans that this government doesn't love you, and you didn't know until at least we from Mukono, we got the chance, and the man told us point blank live. Nchabe Mukono, sina chembebuya. Likewise, wherever you are, namwe taina chabebuya. So this is the time to vote for a leader, aina chabebuya. A leader that wants to achieve well-being. We want to address regional inequality. We must agree that Uganda faces the same problems when it comes to infrastructure, health, schools, etc. But also we must accept that there are problems in the education sector in northern Uganda or in eastern Uganda are not the same as in central Uganda. We must agree that the health care or the roads in other regions of the country are not at the same level. So much as we want to improve these infrastructure and public services, we have to be careful on where we add more money so that we can give different regions to the same level. And those are the 4 basic parts we are going to focus on. And maybe briefly for the people that do not understand English, National Unity Platform, getuse mu buyinza. Twagala okulaba nga tuteekawo olukiiko luyise National Devolution Dialogue Council. Olukiiko lugenda kubeerako abakulembeze ab'ekinnansi, abakulembeze ab'ebitongole by'obwannakyewa, abakulembeze b'aminisita eno n'abakulembeze ba region. Tulabe tulina ku nkola eri gye twalina eya federal nga buli region erina obukulembeze obwayo. Uganda eno egenda kubeera etya kuba tugizude disitulikiti ze tulina ennyingi gavumenti ezizeereese tebali kuzireetawo kwongeza mpeereza y'emirimu gye balina obakolera wabula bagyongeza kwongeza omuwendo gw'ababaka ba palamenti abali abapalamenti aba NRM. Basically tebali mukikola kuwongeza bukulembeze. N'ekirala twagala twongeza ku funding, twongeza ku ssente ze tuwa local government kubanga tulabye nga bakola ebitundu 7 ku buli 10 ku mirimu gavumenti eno gyerina okukola mu masomero, mu malwaliro, ku nguudo n'ebirala wabula ng'ate ssente ze babawa ntono nnyo. Twagala twongeze from 7.6% etuliko kati up to 40% by 2030. Twagala tuteekeyo graders, twagala tuteekeyo tractors, twagala tuwe at least manifesto yagambye at least buli district ebeereyo ne tippers 5 okutandikirwako okulaba nga ziri ku solid waste management. Twogedde ku chairperson b'ebyalo LC2s akasente tugambye buli ssentebe w'ekyalo oba LC2 afuna $1,000 buli mwezi ate nga tezijja buli mwezi zijja ng'omwaka guwedde okutegeeza mu mwaka ssentebe w'ekyalo afuna $12,000. Palamenti yatudde n'eteesa babongereko babe ku $1,000 mpaka ku $5,000. Ne mbagamba bannayuganda gavumenti eno kyetwagalangako olaba LC abasinga mu Uganda bali mu kibiina kya NRM naye bafuna $1,500 olwo gwe nakato waabwe nakadde waabwe atalina wa NRM osubira bagenda kufaako ddi. Ne tugamba nti twagala twongeze nga bwe tuba tugaba ssente zigenda okukola emirimu mu regions eza Uganda ez'enjawulo tuzongeza okusinziira ku need nti abatalina amasomero mu regions endala nti fenna tulina ebizibu bye bimu ebijja ku byokusoma, ebyobulamu, enguudo n'ebirala wabula tulina okukkiriza nti regions ez'enjawulo zifeesinga ebizibu bino mu ngeri za njawulo. Yes, mu Buganda tuyinza okugamba amasomero tulina mabi naye nga depo y'obubi gye tuliko ate si yemu n'abali mu Eastern region oba mu Northern oba mu West. Katwagala nga tuba tuweereza zino ssente tuzichanolinge according to need okusinziira ku bwetaavu. So yeyo priority yaffe number 8 in brief angala we lwabagambye bannayuganda mwenna nagezazaako okumenya manifesto zino priority zonna 11 mu Luganda kuva kutesoka paka kwesembayo. Page yange nze Natabi ku TikTok n'abalala basharinze ku X. So in case totegeera Luganda babadde basharinga muzungu bonna bonna nga bibadde bikalubirizaamu osobola ogenda ku TikTok eyo ne weeyongera okwennyonnyoka zino zonna priorities mu lulimi Oluganda neeyanziza nnyo.
Kyakyemalenagala ogaatako nti akakiiko kagenda kubeerako abakulembeze b'ennono abamu manyi nti mbadde mukikute kulandinge naye. I know some of you have been enjoying the presentation, but we are about to come to an end. I know that some of you have been enjoying the presentations, but we are about to come to our end. We have only 3 that are left. We will present those quite quickly, and then we recognize that time has been fast spent. We don't want to keep you here. We have told you the new government want people to work, to use their talents, to develop our nation. So we want to give you also time to prepare yourselves for the new government. That said, I'm going to welcome our next member, Council Stasi Marvin, to talk about how we are going to position our country to the diaspora. Just going to speak to how we are going to position our foreign policy outlook. Let me welcome Council Stasi Marvin to come and present in the next 5 minutes. Thank you.
Hi. So I rarely speak in public. I am still trying to catch my breath. I hope you can bear with me. I'm happy to see you here. My name is Stasi Marvin. I think I've already been introduced. By show of hands, how many of you know a doctor called David Sylvester? How many of you have you heard of Dr. Bobi David Silver? Okay, no one. So, Dr. Mujimu is or was a surgeon. He worked for 26 years in a country called Namibia. When he was approaching his retirement, the Namibian government blocked his bank accounts. They didn't just block his bank accounts, they took 6 billion Uganda shillings of his savings and they took them to their central bank. Dr. Mujimu sued everyone he could in Namibia and he went all the way up to the Supreme Court and he lost. In frustration, Dr. Mujimu gathered the little that he had left. He gathered his cars, there were about 3, 2 state-of-the-art Land Cruisers and a Toyota Fortuner. This is 2017, and he hit the road from Namibia to Uganda. He came by road. He came with his cars, and he came with hundreds of millions of cash. When he reached the border at Mutukula, he was arrested by a team of JAT and Ugandan police officers from Interpol. They arrested him from no man's land, took his money, about 300 million, and then now brought him up to a police post somewhere in Mutukula. They accused him of funding rebels fighting the Ugandan government. And after a while, they released him. They set him free on police bond. But the real thing that they wanted, the real reason why they arrested him was to take the money and the property. So in as much as they set him free, they held onto the cars, and of course they held onto the cash because formally and under the law, they had not taken the money. He went and complained to Professional Standards Unit, and eventually the charges against him of fighting the regime were found bogus and they were dismissed. After some time, this whole ordeal traumatized him so much. He became a drug addict. When I say drugs, I really mean medical drugs. So he started abusing drugs and they took him to Tarika Hospital. But after some time, he escaped from the hospital and went back to his home in the constituents of Honorable Seru Kenya. It was in Chikajo March in the Sabagao. So one random day in September 2018, Dr. Mujimu committed suicide. He left a suicide note that said he had committed suicide because of the stealing of his property by Ugandan police and everything that he had gone through. Now, the story of Dr. Mujimu, I believe, is a story that many of our comrades in the diaspora find relatable. You, our comrades, are patriotic, you are hardworking, and you love your country. But you left Uganda because Uganda had stopped protecting and working for you. There is so much you can contribute to our country's development, but remain underutilized, you remain neglected by a regime that now sees you as enemies instead of seeing you as citizens with full and equal rights. You are abused and sometimes killed at work, but Uganda never intervenes for you. You can't renew your passports or get national IDs without hassle. Bureaucracy when you try to invest back home. You cannot protect your property in Uganda because it's so far away. You are homesick, you miss your families, you miss your friends, you miss relatives, you miss that smell of the soil when you've just had a downpour, when you've just had rain. Some of you are on expired visas, especially in the Arab countries, but you cannot return home because, first of all, you can't afford the air ticket, and you also cannot afford the fines. You are doing jobs that you hate to death, but you continue doing them anyway because your life depends on them. You are enduring all the suffering because of poor leaders. but you cannot vote them out because you are too far away from Uganda. So you are basically excluded from the politics, from the life, from the economy, and from the decision making of this very country to which you contribute about 5 trillion Uganda shillings every single year. Well, I am here to comfort you and let you know that the National Unity Platform sees the struggles. We feel your pain, and we are committed to ending that pain in the following terms. Number 1, we shall ensure that you can vote in Uganda's elections no matter where you might be in the world. We shall remove all unnecessary limits to you acquiring your citizenship. Number 3, we shall grant automatic citizenship to any child under 18 years that's both Ugandan parents in the diaspora. Our embassies shall process your passports and national IDs within 7 days of you applying for them. We shall facilitate the elderly, the distressed Ugandans abroad to return home. We shall also assist them to readjust to life in Uganda and settle in like they never left. We shall organize and fund annual culture trips for Ugandan children born in the diaspora to learn more about their culture and languages. We shall introduce what we call, or what is called, diaspora bonds, through which your comrades in the diaspora who are able and willing shall lend money to the government with the guarantee that you'll get it back with a fat interest. We shall run a digital investment center through which you'll be able to register businesses, buy property, make other investments in Uganda right from your mobile phone. We shall operate a secure and digital land registry system and amend our land laws to make sure that you can buy, sell, or enforce your rights in land without stepping in Uganda. As for our skilled professionals, we shall facilitate your temporary permanent return home and reserve for you employment opportunities in our public service. For Ugandans suffering in Arab countries, we shall have free embassy services to fight in your corner. In other words, we shall grant the diaspora, number 1, your full political rights. Number 2, the economic instruments you need to thrive. Number 3, the legal protections you need to be safe and keep what you can. Number 4, we shall grant you a seat at the policy table deciding Uganda's future. I have read from cover to cover the manifestos of the 2 strongest opponents to our presidential candidate. This is exactly what those manifestos promise you, our comrades in the diaspora. These are the promises we make to you. So to back up our plan for the diaspora, as part of our foreign policy, this is what we intend to do. Number 1, we are going to withdraw all non-career diplomats from our embassies and replace them with competent professionals. Number 2, we are going to renegotiate international agreements, prioritize the interests of Ugandans, while at the same time ensuring that these agreements still remain beneficial to our neighbors and to the international community. In short, we are going to turn Uganda into a country that works for all Ugandans and shows up for them no matter where they might be on this planet. We shall build a new Uganda where we will never again be raped, tortured, dehumanized, and forced into exile just because you hold a contrary political opinion. That Uganda community is very possible. When I visited Dubai in 2022, and I saw the transformation that desert had gone through, I concluded, me as a person, that any country can transform itself if it decides to. All it needs are leaders who are intentional and have the will to do what's right, no matter the cost. To transform Uganda, we just need political will. We don't need magic, we don't need miracles. And that political will now has a face. It has a name, and it has a heartbeat. And the man seated right there. He knows what it means to rise from nothing and achieve everything. But he also knows what it means to risk everything. fight you in the hope that if he remains in that fight long enough, tomorrow will be a better day for everyone. So let us take a bit of this Moses of our time, a man who led himself from the struggles, from the trenches, from the ghettos of Kamocha, and turned himself into a global success story. Let us take a bit from President Chagulanyi and see if he won't lead our country into the mecca of freedom and opportunity that we all yearn for. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councillor Marvin. That was very clear. Some of you are wondering, he told you he has read other parties' manifestos. When he put up a piece of paper, you saw nothing. In case you're wondering, he's just saying that other parties have nothing for you who stay in the diaspora. Thank you so much, Councillor Marvin, once again. We only have 2 people left, and perhaps these are the very important points we need to listen to. We were deliberate when we saved the best for the last. So we are going to have Miss Natavi Maria, the Koska. Some of you know the one, but it's a bit different. You just have to tilt it a little. Who is also a NEC member and one of our finest leaders from Eastern Uganda. Allow me to welcome her to present about the
Thank you very much. Much Comrade Lawel. People power. Which talks about ensuring natural resources and climate resilience. Mwidi bulungi nti tuli bagayiganga iwanga Uganda era President ayigenga abakobera nti ebyobutonde ebyobugayiga bye tulina bingi nno abula obukulembeze bwe tulina n'obutali kubikozesa kimala kutuwigayagawasa ife abanansi. And that is where the problem is. Our problem is leadership. Our problem are not resources, because we are endowed in all ways. Yes. Change is a global challenge. However, there are things leaders are doing to ensure that this climate change does not affect their people as badly as it is affecting us. Mwana mwiti ntena kudino tosobola ku planningira bya bulimi ng'osinziira ku maadi agali kutonda ag'obwerere Katonda g'abanga atuwadde. Olina okuteekateeka mu ngeri ey'enjawulo. Aye gavumenti emiteviireeyo kutuwa bukugu obwo kuteekateeka bya bulimi byaife. N'ensonga lwaki ennaku dino endala nningi. People do not have food because of the food insecurity caused by the climate change, okukyusa amaadi engeri gye bali kutonamu ate ng'awo tuli kusinziira. You also know climate change is affecting our natural resources and land use, especially with the wetlands. You've seen how landslides have also affected our people, especially in the mountainous areas. And you know very well how climate change has also led to the degradation of our biggest resource, which are the fertile soils. You also know that climate change does not only affect our social well-being, or does not only affect the environmental well-being of our country, but it affects our infrastructure development. Mubutambula muboina kunga amaadi gagwire wane Kampala mu kibuga kyaimwe kyamwete ekibuga. Amaadi bwe gagwa gasibira wa mu nguudo mu butale era ddala ssente damuwa Musolo, the Dizinge. Therefore, it is also taking us back. I want to say the center of Tontono, Betuxasula Musete Domu Musolo, Era Amadiga Congero Colachi, Okubionona. Woblingirila, Nansansanya ya Sente Domu Musolo, Elikwe Yongero climate change. Inti sawa nana mwidakubona the supplementary budget diri kwidam parliament olokuba waliwo disaster webuuza tuli mwiwangachi government emetasobola kutyama ya planningira bulungi eiwanga lino omwaka mulamba tukoba inti landslide iwe nga government gotuwe sente eningi okulingirira ebintu byembe you cannot forecast and mitigate such challenges and even include them in our budget. The problem of our country is not because we are under-resourced. The problem of this country is poor and bad leadership. And that is what the National Unity Platform is offering you through His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu. An agile leader. Supplementary budget. Abulanga to the planning gira mugwire ebintu ebinaba bigwirewo ebyo tujabikola tutya tujja kunonya enkereza tutegeere buli climate change weerigema okusobola okubonekanga tutegeera government kyerina okolawo nga kikaali kukola ki nga kikaali kubaawo era nga n'ekintu ekintu kyetujja kyetweta climate adaptation and mitigation mechanisms edendawulo era liri mu manifesto yaife enenungi imwe abaire bakalijisoma tulikoba tutya how are we going to adapt and mitigate the climate challenges we are facing. Ekisokera irala we are going to strengthen international climate financing and partnership nga bwe bakobye ekizibu kya climate change kiri global aye tutayira mu mbeera ki tusobola okukola n'abantu ab'amawanga agandi galekera okutuwa esente olw'obugubuzi obuswise aye batunalaga nti esente gy'abantu tujjabikozesa bulungi ndibakoba nti mu climate change abantu bajja kukwatanalinga n'ife tusobole okuboneka nga tukola ku bizibu ebiri kutuleetebwaku climate change. Ensonga ey'okubiri n'ensonga ey'oku adaptinga climate responsive budgeting framework eyo nekola etya kyembakobye nti twetaaga abakulembeze n'obukugu obujja okusoma embeera ng'ekaali kubaawo bwe tusoma embeera eyo ng'ekaali kubaawo twaba ni pulaani ekendeeza ku mbeera eyo etya bwejja okugwa ku bantu era twasobola n'okwinongola abantu sente daiwe we tuli kujja nga tebali kugigugulagugule. Ensonga ey'okusatu ni climate adaptation fund sente erijja okuyamba omuntu wa bulijjo okusobola okwenganga enembeera eya climate change oba amaanyi gano agali kugwa amangi entobazi gye bali floods eziri kuwamba n'endala erikwidde olwa climate change era nga omwo tujja kubaamu n'esente erijja okuyambaku okwakisesinga amaadi imwe abalimi lwaki odanga okulinda amaadi katonda gwotayogera naye ntajja kukuwa amaadi ekyo ogalinde nga tigajja kwida nga mulina president wame His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu ayi nti mulina enanda Victoria mulina enanda Kyoga mulina omwiga nayo osobola okugamba n'ebintu bingi ayo olw'obwire kambire kawo aye mujje musome. Please go and read this manifesto. Buli bwagisoma oba n'amaanyi g'eriraga ebituokesana kubaona Uganda etya. Ensonga eyindi twenda okutaawo emirimu gye tweta green jobs ni climate smart enterprises nga bino tujja kusinziira mu bintu nga renewable energies. Obusibu climate change eno we buli kuvanga n'okubanga tuli kukozesa bubi obutonde bwaife bane emiti tugimazeewo gyona nga tukujja mu manda aye president waife yatukobye bw'anaafuuka president ati amasanyalaze gajja kuba ga 5 oyita kuba weetaaga ki okujja okugula amanda gajja kuba gakuyamba ki ng'amasanyalaze ga 5 oyita kufumbiranga kuki ku masanyalaze aye ate waliwo n'ebintu twetanga solar energy akasana kano katwokyera bwerere nga tituli kukakozesa kukutoolamu maanyi gajja kutuyamba kufumba nakumulisa amayumba gaife lwaki tusula mu nzikizanga emisana tuba n'akasana akanje oti ni kano ensonga eyindi mbaera ku sidinti eyekalamoja awazira amasanalaze wali yempewo tetusobola okufuula amasanalaze kubeera timukindi kuba gavumenti eno yabawudiisa yabalimba abantu bekalamoja olulimi tumutegera bulungi but I'm just saying the people of Karamoja, the President Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu and his government is going to turn the wind that disturbs you into electricity to light your houses and give you electricity to cook and do all other things. Nga nensonga ey'okubonekanga tugema ku bintu ebijja okwiza obutonde bwaife okubuwa amaanyi tusobole okubonekanga obutonde obwo ate bututaasa ebizibu bye tutasobole kwetegekera. Bana kino ekintu mbaliriza nga mbakoba ekintu kirala bino ebintu bye tuli kusoma n'okuwandiika byona byona birungi aye tibinda kubaawo bwe kubanga timutwegaiseeko okubita mu kalulu okwekalakaasa akalulu okwekanaiza tuzimbe Uganda empyaka nga tutikinga manvuli buli bweri. Komanda asooka ni His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi Sentamu era mbasaba mubeere kkiriya Katonda abankuumire era
Thank you so much. I told you I was sending the West also at the last. I left with only one person, we went to them. However, after that person, we have an artist who I'm going to talk about now. And after that, we shall have Commander 001, the next president. The person is going to be the name of I can't wait. That said, allow me to welcome the last person, Miss Precious. She's going to talk about technology. Uganda, allow me to introduce Precious, the last person, to talk about a tech-driven economy. Thank you.
People power. Our power. People power. I know you're a little bit tired, but bear with me. People power. Our power. People power. NUP. Everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the energy we need to enter the new Uganda. Otherwise, we are stuck. So, I'm not a good speaker, and I have a challenge that I'm going to speak after someone with a lot of energy. So I hope I can keep up. So, abantu banje bambadira mwasiza mutabasebo n'abanyabo. Nanakina bayiza bali kuja mu ndonyeka people power, our power, people power. So, I'm a true Ugandan, you're going to wonder why my name is Nalinya, Wani Mutara Mumbeja, Nengena Kokero Runyankoli. Nze Nalinya Precious Julian, Natendi, Nina Kokero Runyankoli, Bintu Ebisinga, kubanga nze ndi muna Uganda omutuufu. Kitegeeza ki tulekeraawo okutwawula yawula ffe tuli bana Uganda, nkimanyisa tuli abanya Uganda. So today, I'm priority 11 technology. Nichimanya hatuna bana bingi abakwesa omutimbagano. Do you have TikTokers around? Yes. All of us. Yeah. And I'm sure all of you are holding your phones. Yeah. So this government understands that we are in the 21st century and understands that we are a young generation. So Ugandans cannot afford to be left behind in this technology era. Ekyo kimanyisa nti gavumenti ya Kyagulanyi tekuza kusiga muntu weena enyuma. Nekimanyi nti nekozesa technology, so ekyo priority ya maani technology. Priority 11 is transforming Uganda into a tech-driven economy through innovation. Why is this priority important? According to the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, trade lowers costs, creates jobs, expands markets, yet 30% of Africans actively participate in digital trade compared to 50% in Asia. Uganda's ICT only accounted for 0.5% of the of the total annual exports. Also, our internet costs about $2.6 per gigabyte, and it is the highest in the region. When you compare with other regions around us, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, our internet is the most expensive. What does this mean? It means we are not lacking potential. It means we are just limited by high internet costs, limited digital literacy, and weak policy frameworks, for which, if we are to compete regionally and globally, these issues must be addressed. And the new government understood the assignment. 1, we are going to talk about digital infrastructure and connectivity. The new government will halve the cost of internet within 5 years by reducing data taxes, investing in regional internet, and will expand affordable broadband internet to every sub-region, prioritizing schools, healthcare, and trading centers, so that no community is left behind. Ekyo kimanyisa ki nuperyo nekiramu tulalonde president wiitu tulateeka gavumenti ensya omubuyinza nkimanyisa nwakucendereza omumyaka etano kuwansi nwakucendereza internet by half. Nkimanyisa wano ogula data yawalwa nogigula aha shilingi 5 n'okutandika kugigula aha shilingi 25. Ekyo kikumanyisa. Education and skilling development. To build a digital country, we must build a digital citizen. Nkimanyisa ki wano oyenda kukozesa technology olina okwegesa abantu okubala kikozesa. Nup government yatugiramu nekwata buli ssomero neryewitulya akwerukayo mbarra lwakubateerayo computer labs. Tukuza kwetagisa kuga mbarra kwisha kwega kubiibiraho amasomero nibegesa computer. No. Nup government is saying you are going to have good equipped computer laboratories in your regions. Let's talk about health. The new government will transform healthcare delivery. It will roll out a national e-health system that includes electronic recording, telemedicine services, digital drug tracking to improve efficiency and access. Health workers will be trained in digital diagnostics and patients management, while data analytics will be used for epidemic preparedness, disease surveillance, targeted interventions, and this will ensure that quality health care reaches every corner. Ekimanyisa ng'obwire wargo wanyu bwarga owanyu bushenyi wisha Kampala nuperyo nekira mutoza kutanka kutambula na basa z'empapurezi no nekola system ngwisha n'obwire bwawe nobugamba amazina gawe notayo ID yawe nibamanya obwire obukushasha kandi kumwana kuyatira ngozi zibabije ekavumite ebigire kuretaha obekwisha nwandu bamanya konka bayikuziya kabata kubimanya. So we are saying this data will help us to prepare and know abantu bambara bagwire munogo mfisha tubakorech just so kwebuzabuza wabatakuchimanya. Agriculture. Of course, we all understand that agriculture remains the backbone of Uganda's economy, and technology can make it smarter and more productive. It will create a national digital agricultural platform that provides farmers with real-time weather updates, market prices, and extension services. The previous speaker talked about the uncertainty of weather, that we can't tell when it's going to rain or when it's not going to rain. But the new government is saying, no, our dear farmers, with technology, we can tell you when it's going to rain, when it's going to shine, and we can actually tell you that you can take your things in a certain market. Nchimanyisa, mutakuza kulinda mshana kwaka, owenshura kugwa, for you to plant. No, nibakuhereza service asumu yawe kugambira munomanya amateka awe nogatwara mukatare kanaka ekindi zakuza hari so they are going to make our lives easy. Then governance and public service, digital transformation also must reach the government itself. We will digitalize key public services, including licenses, land titles, taxes, health records, improve efficiency and accountability. And of course, we will have an e-procurement system that will be introduced to curb corruption and save public funds. Muchimanya ababibe Uganda babira nnyo ku kino. N'ogenda okufuna ID ne bakusaba ssente empitirivu, n'ogenda okunoonya land title yo nga tomanyi weeri. So, no government is saying, no, we are going to put these things very much available to you and near to you through technology. Ng'omuntu tateekeddwa kujjako nguzi okumanya details z'ekibanja kyo oba land title yo weeri. Let me talk about economy and innovation to expand digital access. We will cut access on smartphones, computers, internet devices, and then of course there will no promises to fund small startups in agribusiness. Of course, this is important for those who are worried that they are removing. I heard rumors on internet, I'm so good at internet and I'm always there. For those who know me, there was a rumor saying, Nuke wants to scrap off, what is this thing is talking these days? PDM, yes. And so don't get worried. The Nuke is saying we are going to create a fund for agribusinesses, for the youth who have small businesses to start up, not to give money to some random person who eats the money and then random people are paraded as though they were funded. Last but not least, of course, as we talk about digitalization, it is important to talk about the national security and digital rights. The new government promises to expand digital opportunities. We will also make sure digital safety. NUP will strengthen cybersecurity capacities to combat fraud, hacking, online crimes, and of course teach enforcement and judiciary, enforcement and the judiciary will be trained to handle cyber crimes cases effectively. We also run public campaigns and data protection. Because we know recently there was a saga, an investigation that was conducted by BBC about trafficking, human trafficking, and this criminal had access to our data, and everyone kept asking the same question: how did this criminal have access to our NERA data? Because he gets all the information from NERA. And of course, as usual, this question was never answered. But the new government is saying, we are going to protect your data, we are going to protect you from hackers, we are going to protect you from online harassment and anything in between. How will this be done? They intend on how will this be done? Of course, they don't want to silence dissent, but they want to ensure space remains free and safe and productive. Because this is important. We know the young Ugandans are earning off the internet, but somehow the dictator, who is, of course, not the 21st century. In conclusion, a tech-driven Uganda is not just a dream, it is a deliberate and achievable voice. A Uganda where a farmer can check prices on their phone, a patient consults a doctor online, a student learns coding in their rural areas, and a person earns global income in their village. Under the new Uganda now, technology will not just be a tool, but it will be an engine, transformation, opportunity, prosperity, and together let us push Uganda into the digital future. People power, our power, people power. Thank you so much for listening to me. Abantu bambanda numayecho kukola abantu bantungamo Western people omulumo twine kumwe konka. For so many years ndwagira ngo ito turije konka in churches turukubi. So tulijire twagira ngo turukubi president nito turiye nyuma yawe.
Thank you so much. Precious, I think that was elaborate. Maybe what you need to take home from what you are saying is that the cost of internet is going to be low, which means whoever kubeera ku TikTok tolina kwewola ssente olabe ku manifesto and party gye tubaddeko wano kuba internet mwaka kaseera egenda kubanga osobola see a bay. And I think what I want to add is that one of the controversial things that have come from that manifesto point is that we shall deliver medicine where you are. And often these things seem ambitious, but when you just cross to Rwanda, we have programs where drones can deliver medicine. You don't have to go through traffic to access that medicine. I think what you also said is that if we can expand internet connectivity, because once you step out of Kampala and go to neighboring districts, oba tokyasobola kufuna internet. But if we can do that, it means that we give you an opportunity to innovate and do all these other things. But also I think there's a lot of willingness that people want to invest in young tech ideas. If we can pacify this country, make internet easy, a lot of investment will come in. So we have come to the end of the presentation on the priority areas. I'll ask each of us to clap for our able panel. If anyone tells you that they have not understood the NUP manifesto, either they were not paying attention today or they don't want to read. And like the lawyers always say, ignorance is not a replacement of absence of facts, so ignorance is not defense. So anyone who says that they don't believe that a new Uganda will fundamentally change this country will be lying. And they're not talking about fundamental failure. There are people who have used that word and it no longer makes sense. The only evidence we have is that people now think things can't change fundamentally. But we have guaranteed you today and we have showed you what is in it for you. So before we have an artist, I'll ask each of us to humble ourselves. We have colleagues who have been imprisoned. We know them now as political prisoners. One of them wrote a letter to us, and he said we need to pass on his communication. So I'll ask each of us to pay attention and listen to what he has to say. He's called Muyo de Hamidu. On 2nd October 2025, he wrote this letter, and this is what he said. Greetings all Ugandan masses, foot soldiers. I write this from Luzira Upper Prison. He says, we take this opportunity to send our message to all foot soldiers across the country. First of all, we thank our President, His Excellency Chagulanyi Robert Sentamu Bobi Wine, for always standing with us in all situations. In all situations we go through, and we do thank all our leaders who visit us in prisons. We kindly thank those who help our families and always attend our court trials. We really appreciate you for the courage that you give us. A message to all foot soldiers. We are in prison, but we have no hope that we can join you in person. We do move we have our hope in you. We respect you, brothers and sisters. We are praying for you in this campaign struggle. We are updated in all campaign areas that you go through, and our flag bearers of national people from across the country. We request you to please do whatever you can to bring justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity in Uganda. As we continue with this restarted, re-empowered, and recharged struggle for a new and a better Uganda, we join Mr. President, His Excellency Bobi Wine, by reminding you always remain focused, be sober, protect each other from a dictator, and let Ugandans be mindful of brothers and sisters who lost their lives in this struggle. Think of us who are in prison. Think of those who are still missing and are in exile. Because because of this struggle, please don't give up to fight against the dictator and his government. We remind you that you are struggling for freedom, against dictatorship, against poverty, unemployment, injustice, corruption, and embezzlement. Hence, restoring a new Uganda. Let's avoid bribes, gifts, and obstruction from our enemies. Please love each other and stop using your fellow comrades for individual gains to our enemies. Please be strong to fight the autocratic government. We are smelling change, but the change can only come from working hard. And we can't change the past, but we can change the future. So let's work hard in the campaign. We wish you a blessed journey in these campaigns. Remember that every word in this campaign means war. May Allah give you courage and strength to overthrow the autocratic government. May Allah give you the gift of knowledge and make the best decision for this country, Uganda. And he says, people power, people power, let's fight for a new Uganda. He shares this message to everyone, and please translate it in different languages countrywide. He says he thanks you, Muyod Hamidu, political prisoner from Rizira Upper Prison. Muyod speaks for all the people that have been in prison for just sticking to their conscience and failing to give in to this government which seeks to deprive them of a conscience which is supposed to be a God-given right that they can exercise. Having said that, I'm going to welcome an artist who of us have known. His name is Siwine Narokalala.
NUP! Only freedom for this is Siwine Narokalala. Anibasi! Come! Share with me! Alright! See? Let's go! One! No matter what it's in you, shall not give up. No matter what it's in you, from one, just to make it up to be number one. Then start from zero. When we see them till zero, you gonna say that I'm gonna make it up. Yes, I'm not telling that me up in my shit up. Level. NUP. Everywhere. People power. Power. People power. And it is so that the thing now, Jalababa. Come on. Okulebe deruta balulu kitina sawa ndala yeno yokka mukamange yeno yokka sebo yo kakakaima kama bavubuka bakayita muvubuka olumbi you see me rhythm selected me so listen to me carefully adios. Abakusinga komasala yero bana bamubi akatira kapuli bali banjoli mubi toli mubi na loli mubi ufunu koli mubi kapule nyokola na moli mubi abakusinga komasala yero bana bamubi akatira kapuli bali banjoli mubi you know bad but you bad mind you gonna be ghetto amas mama to let me say you got the chikola you cannot sit in them you wakola kwela bichawa utako bimbi seja amas mama to wakutaka kulawa seja ndo wakuti Listen to me again. You cannot sit there, you walk all up without each other. Without coming, you decide to have a smile to walk with water. Kulawa, sometimes you walk with shower. What I'm abantu ngeno namulula abantu kikusa abantu abatalina musango bantu kikona bakusomera level NUP everywhere tetulina ssaawa ndala kyegizo bagamba tetulina ki eno yeki eno yessaawa obusajja bugenda baaba
Maybe what I want to say is that in a national platform, we are very spiritual as well. We believe in God, we believe in Allah, and He's the one who has brought us this far, and He's going to be with us in the new Uganda. Allah, we welcome, I like her so much, Allah, we welcome Honorable Namboze to give us a scripture, because our mission is our praise.
People power, our power, President. Omusajja katabungiye wennaku ez'omukama wange naye nga bw'omanyi sitatafa okujjako nga firimu egenda kuggwa. Mukama wange President, tiimu gye ndabye wano ekola mulimu we. Yesu Kristo naye bwe yajja mu nsi muno n'asuubiza ensi empya. Kati bwe yasuubiza ensi empya nabali ne bagyesunga. Olunaku lumu gamba munaavulinaanye nti olunaku lumu Yesu yali atuddawo ng'akompamulira ebigambo ebikulu ebirungi ebinaabeera mu nsi ki empya. Ate engeri Yesu ye gye yagenda awo osobola otunuulirawo Kyagulanyi nga bamaze okatappira ebigambo ebingi bwe bityo nga byonna bya nsi ki Bayibuli egamba bweti. Nsomye mu Matayo essula 24 okutandikira ku linnya olwokusatu. Yesu bwe yali ng'atudde ku lusozi lw'emiti Zayituuni, abayigirizwa ne bajja wali mu kyama ne bagamba nti tubuulire ebyo biribaawo ddi era kabonero kyakalaga okujja kw'ensi eyo. Yesu n'addamu nti mwerinde waleme kubaawo bababuzaabuza, kubanga bangi balijja nga beeyita nti Yesu naye bali bababuzaabuza. Muliwulira entalo wano nawali, mwerinde kweraliikirira. Ebyo biteekwa okubaawo naye ekiseera kiriba kitandika butandisi. Eggwanga erimu lirumba eggwanga eddala, n'obwakabaka bulirumba obwakabaka. Walibaawo enjala n'okukankana kw'ensi mu bitundu bingi, naye olwo okubonaabona kuliba kutandika butandisi. Mmwe bali bakwata ne babavaayo ne mubonyaabonyezebwa, era n'abamu ku mmwe mulitibwa. Abantu bonna balikyawa mmwe olw'okuba muli bagoberezi b'oyo. Olwo bangi ne bayiteremuka, walibaawo n'ababalyamu enkwe era bali bakyawaganya, n'abalanzi ab'obulimba balirabika ne baba babusaabusa olw'obugyemu obuyinga obungi. Okwagala kw'abamu kuliwola, naye oyo aligumira ebizibu okutuusa ku nkomerero yalirokolebwa. Era amawulire amalungi agava ku Bwakabaka galitegeezebwa abantu mu nsi yonna okuba obujulirwa eri amawanga gonna olwo ensi eyo n'eryoka etuuka. Mukama yo
prayer chetulagenda obubonero bwonna bwe buli ekibuzo kiri tuliredde twetegese at this point in time president of this country. Thank you.
Everywhere. The President of America, yali alikulale
Chagulanyi yabadde okulabirira
kati bya America.
Kati America nze ndi America tuli wano mu Uganda. Yes. Thank you so much. I want to tell you guys that where we have come from as a country is very bad. We have all suffered. We all have the robots that Sasi was talking about. We all have siblings who can't find jobs. We all have friends who have been arrested for the last 5 years for just speaking the truth. But the good news is this is all coming to an end under the new government, under the leadership of His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi. Allow me to take this opportunity, therefore, to invite our able President, His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi, and
NUP everywhere and everywhere. NUP even here. NUP Thank you very much. Please take your seats, ladies and gentlemen. I salute you, ladies and gentlemen, and please bear with us. I know that this function has taken a little longer. Njagala okwebaza Musumba Namboze olw'ekyawandiikibwa ekyatuwadde mwerabenga ab'emukolo muzibe mutanna Thank you very much for that word. I want to salute my fellow artist, Figo and your friend. I want to salute another revolutionary artist, Siwai Narukalana. Man, you're bad. Many times I feel glad to share the wine name with you. Very talented young man. You remind me of Buju Banton. You remind me of Bob Marley. You remind me of Sizzla Kalonji. You remind me of Capleton. All those artists that many of us grew up watching and aspiring to be like. Believed in one common thing, equal rights and justice. They believed in freedom for all people, especially the black people, the African people. So, if you see a Rasta man posing around with dreadlocks, but not believing in equal rights and justice, that is not Rasta, that is rascalat. So I salute to my brother. Webale nakubulirira abavubuka. Kikulu nnyo abavubuka omuntu akabulirira ne bawulira yoyo omuvubuka nga bo yoyo ayise bwaje bayise. Webale bajjukiza nti okubeera omuntu omubi tekikufuula wakabe. Milako will put it straight. That bad man and bad man is two different things. Can't mix and mingle the two of them. I also want to appreciate the drama team from the School of Leadership for the skit that you presented here. Thank you very much. In this our struggle, music, dance, and drama will always carry a center stage. It has been music, dance, and drama, creativity, and poetry. It's been art that has liberated people. I also want to sympathize with Dr. Nalukwago. Dr. Nalukwago, we listen to you. Tukusaziranga walaba n'ennumba. Dr. Nalukwago batatubulira nti ennumba zaamulumira mu ddwaliro eryo mu kyalo ng'agenze mu toilet. Walaba nnyo munnaye nze manya ennumba ze zaali zinumyeko nze zannumira nno ku muti gwa muyembe zannuma kuliiso ne mala wiiki n'amba nga linnuma naye kati gwe nkubamu akafaananyi oba zaakulumyewa. Naye tukusabira munnange before or after. I want to salute the comrades that are presented today. Comrade Awel, the young man, the intelligent young man that you are, and the way you present it gives me hope, gives me confidence that the young people of this generation are actually seeing through the curtain that has been put before our eyes. They're seeing the future. They're seeing the promised land. They're seeing the new Uganda. I want to appreciate the policy team that has been able to clearly paint a picture for us. Very eloquent. Young men and women, very passionate young men and women, very imaginative young men and women. That's what Mao loves to call Agende. He is the roadblock between us and our future. But we've said it before and I want to reassert it again, that we're not only fighting to liberate ourselves, we are fighting to carry ourselves beyond liberation. We are fighting to be able to paint our own destiny. And I'm very glad that for these 2 or 3 hours, these young people have been they've been able to clearly paint a picture. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not my ideas as an individual. No, these are ideas of numerous young men and women. These are ideas of the young generation, young Ugandans from across Uganda. Look at them, from the north to the west, to the east, to the south and central. This is Uganda summarized. These ideas and ideas, they represent all of us. They represent both our pain and our aspiration. They represent the aspirations of a new generation. These thoughts and presentations, ladies and gentlemen, they represent a generation that refuses to be defined by the fear and the hate and the hopelessness that has been imposed on us. Fear has been imposed on us. We fear each other. Hate has been imposed on us. We've been taught to hate each other. We've been conditioned to feel helplessness, to feel helpless, to believe that we can't go past here. Thank you very much, my brothers and sisters, for making it clear that we have a future that is tangible, a future that is a future that we are going to achieve. And I also want to add my voice on yours in the affirmative that we are indeed going to build a new country for ourselves and our children. We are going to build that country for ourselves, by ourselves. I might be the one leading, and I've told you this before, that I don't present myself to lead this struggle, this charge for a new Uganda, because I'm the most educated or most qualified. I present myself because it is a calling, just like every one of you. But nothing gives me confidence to see that behind me there's quality. Behind me, there are young men and women. Them is very qualified, very knowledgeable, well-traveled, passionate about a new Uganda. We have young doctors here, we have young lawyers here, we have journalists, we have people from all walks of life. And yes, we have people like myself and Nubian who are artists. We have people like Eddie Mutwe. We have people like Zambari. Zambari Mukono. So it is possible, ladies and gentlemen. I have no doubt that it's possible. But I was moved even deeper by the presentation of Maria Ledochos-Kanatabi, who put it clearly that these are just dreams. Brothers and sisters, these are but just dreams. This is but just an imagination, a dream that we can either achieve but also can fail to achieve. This is a dream that we can get, but this is a dream that we can also fail to achieve and keep dreaming about it if we don't take the necessary steps. Over a few years ago, I've learned that in life you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate for. In fact, you get what you fight for, not what you deserve. But brothers and sisters, again I want to tell you that what we deserve, what you deserve, is worth fighting for. Yes, it does. What do we have to do then? Let's do the necessary. Step number one, start by magnifying this, by amplifying this. I like that this has been presented precisely but clearly. It's right here. This is what we want to bring to Uganda. When we say Museveni agende kubalemeza Obino. What you have to do as a citizen, number one, is to help further paint this picture to all and sundry. Anybody that you get close to, let them understand that we are past the mobilization area. We are in the sensitization and making sure that everybody gets us clearly. Understand what we are fighting for. Understand what we are risking for. Explain it to your friends, to your family, to your boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or husband. Explain it to your friends. Explain it whenever you have an opportunity. To you, our leaders, especially those that are running to office. And I like that the skit made it very clear. Don't promise people rice, because we are not going to give rice in the new Uganda. Promise what we are going to give as a government. In the new government, you're going to be serving under the National Unity Platform. And this that I'm promising, you are going to be responsible to deliver to your constituents. This is going to be government points when you go to speak. Don't promise people warranty. Let's be different from those that we are fighting against. And further, we request you to simplify it even more in your languages. Make it understandable. Simplify it further. Those of you that are on social media, please help us. Share these on your social media handles. We've been saying that that phone is a very powerful tool. Please lend it to Uganda. Lend your TikTok account to Uganda, your Facebook account, your Twitter account, all platforms that you can. Show people what Uganda can achieve. Support the NUP or the NUP candidate. At least let every young Ugandan understand what Uganda can turn into. And then we can decide who takes us there. I've already shown you that me, I have the law to take you there. But at least let us first understand where we want to go as a country. Let's understand the kind of country that we want. And then we will find the courage to take the first, second, and more steps towards that Uganda that we want to get to. So, help us, push it. I know we have different talents. Those that can animate it, break it down, simplify it. Let even a young child of 5-6 years understand the kind of country that we want, because we are not going to stop. I told you a few weeks ago that we are not going to wait to celebrate when we get there. We shall celebrate along the way. Even knowledge of what we want to achieve is victory enough. Let us celebrate it and then keep moving towards it. So break it down for those people, make it understandable. Then another thing I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, organize, organize, organize. Send this message down to the common people. Build teams. Zitwaite gari. Build teams. Let them go door to door, not just asking for a vote, but painting a picture of what people are voting for. I want people to know what they are voting for. So organize. Go to your constituencies. You, the leaders, I really love your company on the campaign trail. But I request you to spend more time in your constituencies. Go there, don't wait for me to come to your constituency with you. While we turn the nation upside down, turn your constituency upside down, and organize. Identify polling agents. Identify people who will help us at every step of this democratic revolution. Muzimbe gari. Also, while at it, please identify alternative means of communication. We all know the Museveni kind of election, and I'm sure he thinks that he is bringing his usual nonsense in this election. So, think ahead. We all know what these people are planning. Think ahead. You know they're going to switch off the network. You know they're going to switch off the internet. Plan ahead. Find alternative ways of communication so that we are in touch as a nation. We are entering a very critical phase of this revolution. So I charge you to go and find different ways. Sit down, burn the midnight candle. Form discussion groups. You never know. Maybe your small group have the idea that will liberate us. So work together, build together, and let us do it, because I know we are going to do it. This, ladies and gentlemen, many people hear us. When the struggle is over, we shall wear the victor's crown. We are going into a risky time, but we can choose to see it from two different perspectives. From one side, you can look at it as a risk. And from the other side, you can choose to look at it as an opportunity. The first 11 and more will come when the struggle is over, when we defeat General Museveni and his corrupt regime. So, ladies and gentlemen, in that new Uganda, make it clear to the people what they are voting for. They are not voting for Kyagulanyi, the individual. They are voting Kyagulanyi, who represents that. They are not voting for NUP, the political party. They are voting for NUP, which represents that. That is exactly what they are voting for. Anybody that is taking the umbrella, that is what you are voting for. Anybody that is risking, that is what you're risking. Anybody that is fighting, that is exactly what you're fighting for. You're not fighting for money to be put in your pocket. You're fighting for a better country. We look at you as leaders. So when you're going to prison, our brothers that are in prison, and many of us that might go to prison, that is what we are going to prison for. For those that will be tortured, even those that will be killed, that is what we are dying for. And I have good news, my brothers and sisters. Whether you are fighting, that is worth fighting for. Whether you're going to prison, it is worth going to prison for. Even dying, this is worth dying for. Because we are doing this for our children and our children's children. We are doing it because the alternative is slavery. And me as an individual, and I believe all of you, or most of you, would rather die than be slaves on the land of your forefathers and foremothers. I can guarantee you that at the end of this, your children will be in charge of their country. They will be able to paint their own destiny. These young men and women, and all those among you, Uganda, a Uganda that is not a laughing stock among nations. That is the Uganda that we are going to get, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate those that are already involved, especially those that we are moving with on the campaign trail, and those that are moving, those that are working on social media, those in the diaspora that save their working hours to work for Uganda, to send a message for Uganda. You're doing a tremendous job. We really, really appreciate you. I want to appreciate our comrades, especially the foot soldiers, for the discipline. Please clap for yourselves. The discipline that you're exercising on your own selves, and the discipline that you're exercising on the road. Many times I look behind and I feel so proud of the team that we're working for. So disciplined on the road, so kind to the people, so that come to support us, the vulnerable people, the women and children. Thank you very, very much. Once more, I want to again request you to look out for our people. Like I said, on this trail, you won't be protecting me, but each other and those that come to support us. Please continue protecting them. We have not seen many cases of thugs stealing phones. I want to warn them again. Demokola era nemoloza mujja mufe kuba abantu bafe oba bakoyi mujja kutya. So with those, I want to conclude by appreciating those that have been funding us and those that have been funding our comrades, our foot soldiers. Thank you very much. Thank you for keeping us going. But I must also remind you, and this Honorable Barimwezo whispered to me, Yechamazima, tuchetagayo kusenda. Yes, we need more support, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to remind you of what the regime is doing to stifle us, to impoverish us, to cut our speed. We are moving regardless, but to request you not to stop supporting us. I want to confirm to you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are not going to give up. And you cannot defeat people that don't give up, especially when they are younger than you. We are younger than the Museveni regime. We are older than them. We are more determined, and we shall not give up. I can guarantee you that in the end, everything will be all right. And if everything is not all right, then it will not be the end. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Abasibo ne banyabo tusima nnyo ttiimu yaffe ya polisi, abaami n'abakyala ab'emyaka emito naye nga bagezi nnyo ate nga baagala nnyo ensi yaabwe. Tubeebaza nnyo olw'okutusiigira ekifaananyi ekya Uganda empya. Nkakasa kati bantu batono nnyo kabe kasinge nga tebali nawo abatategeera kirooto kya Uganda empya. Kati ffenna tumanyi kye tuyayaanira, tumanyi exactly kye twagala okuteekawo. Tuli basanyufu nnyo ti abantu abatutotole kiikirira ebirooto n'ebyayaanirwa eby'omugigi omuto ebya Uganda empya, Uganda ejjudde amasanyu, Uganda gye tukakasa nti tulina okufuna mu bulamu bwaffe, Uganda gye tukakasa nti tulina okusala amagezi gonna gonna tugifune omwaka ogujja mu kutema mu bigambo ebitonotono mu myezi 3. Tubeebaza olw'ekifaananyi kye mutusiigidde, kubanga kyongedde okulaga nti ddala ddala yeffe bali bwe bayogerako wamawulira Haji Hussein Kyanjobe yayogerangako generation eje yefe kasiyevanga teyabagamba nga yefe ne mu byawandiikibwa bonna mpozi byasomye yefe yefe twagaana okutuumibwa oba okuumibwa mu busibe oba obukyayi oba okutya n'oba obutaba na ssuubi. Tetwasalawo ebiseera byaffe eby'omu maaso tubiteeke mu ngalo zaffe olwaffe olw'abazadde baffe naye okusingira ddala ku lw'abaana baffe, era nga tubakakasa ese tugenda gizimba baganda bange. Bino byonna bye mulabye ebimu badde mu Luzungu ebirala mu Luganda naye bijja kutuukawo. Nera nga mwanyinaffe nattabire kyosika okuva e Busoga e Butembe bwatugambye nti bino byonna bikyali birooto, bino byonna bikyali biteeberezo. Njagala mumanye nti era bino bye birooto tetusobola okulemwa okutuukako, tusobolera ddala okulemwa okubituukako singa tetukola kituufu. Ekituufu kye kiruwa? Ekituufu basebo ne bannyabo kwe kumanya nti mulamu tofuna ekyo ky'osaanidde kufuna, nedda ofuna ekyo ky'okayaniridde kabe kasinga ekyo ky'olwaniridde. Emirimu gye bagenda kuleetera waka ku soosiyo, bw'oba toli mu matiba osaana okangula ku boyisiyo, sigala ku koosiyo era manya lulayizo. Tolema kukolera Uganda gwezimba nkwangalemu wadde nga nkoosiyo eyali wasoyisiyo Uganda nkwangalyo ebakwangalyo. Bannange ekirooto kino tusobolera ddala okulema okukifuna singa tetukoze ekituufu. Eky'omukisa omulungi ekituufu tukimanyi baganda bange. Era ekituufu osaba tutandike okikola mbagirawo. Okusookera ddala mbasaba mwenna bannayuganda, si bakulembeze bokka naye buli munnayuganda olifuule katalaali ogufuule mulimu gwo okutemaatema manifesto eyo, okutemaatema ebigendererwa bya NUP, obinnyonnyole buli muntu gwosobola okutuukako. Tandikira ku bazadde bo, odde ku mwagalwawo, odde ku baana bo oba mikwano gyo, ab'ekinywi kyo b'okola nabo oba bonna b'otuukako. Osobola okukikola mu buntu, osobola n'okozesa social media yo. Mutuyambe mu kimaking clear abantu balabe kye balwanirira. Bw'oba omanyi ky'olwanirira kizibu okussa omukono, bw'oba olengera gy'olaga bannange kizibu okupondoka n'ogwamu amaanyi. Abantu mubalage gye tulaga, bamanye nti tetuli kino Mao kyayagala okuyita nti abo bagamba just Museveni must go. Yes, Museveni must go, but after Museveni goes, our job will just have begun. Museveni mwanaagenda omulimu gwaffe kujja kuba gwakatandika. Awo tutereze Uganda empya. So tubasaba mukinnyonnyola abantu nammwe abali ku social media tuzenga tubasaba era twongera okubasaba baganda bange buli agala ensi ye waakiri waayo vidiyo emu oba post emu oba eddakiika 10 buli lunaku ku lw'eggwanga lyo mwabali mu Uganda n'abali ebweru wa Uganda tugezaako okuzimba ya Uganda mpeya buli omu era buli omu alina omulimu. Olina abantu abakuwuliriza bayinza okuba 2, 3, 4, 5, 1000 mutwalo bawe obubaka buno tuyambe okimenyemenye mu ngeri yo, mu lulimi lwo, mu sitayiro yo, mu ngeri yo yonna omekinga sure nti abantu bakutegeera. Njagala okusinzira wano tulina omu ku baganda baffe omuyimbi Nakinku Honorable Walukagga. Njagala okusaba ssebo taliwo wano naye nkakasa gyali ampulira. Njagala okusaba ssebo mmanyi toyiya ne bayiiya tetwafirwa ababasudde atisi gwe twakusigaza. Kusaba okoleyo n'akayimba akakodongo kamu otemeeteme Uganda ebyanga bigenda okuba mweba artists mutemeteme Uganda empya abantu balabe kye balwanirira abantu balekera okugamba balwanirira Kyagulanyi oba balwanirira NUP bamanye kye balwanirira ne bwaba Kyagulanyi naye amanye nti alina kyalwanirira asobole nawawalaga awasalewo ayagala kusigala wano oba ayagala genda wali tukimenyemenye abantu batutegeere bulungi nnyo abakulembeze naddaamu abeesimbyewo temukyasobola kugamba nti temumanyi byagamba abantu temusuubiza abantu katogo temukulira bantu mwenge temusuubiza kuwa bantu sente abantu mwabapoloote nga mulina n'obujulizi mubalage kyetwagala okubawa kyekino kyakabi okusinga bucolo bwe babasaba ate nkakasa bajja bategeera awulidde bulungi so mumenyemenye manifesto yaffe buli wa NUP oba oli MP oba oli meya eno ne manifesto yokwotandikira ebirala ebiri detailed buyongereza okwo naye abantu mubalage nti tugenda kukola nga gavumenti tegenda kubeera ng'eneya Museveni ekunkumuka tugenda kukolera watambula ku campaign trail era temulekera okumperekera naye njagala obudde obusinga mu bumale mu constituency zammwe musisinkane abantu mubasaba akalulu naye temubasaba busaba kalulu mubalage gye tugenda mmwe wano temuli bakandidate kubanga bino si bya bulijjo mwe muli bakomanda muli badulizi ate mmwe abatuuze abali eyo temulowooza nti olwokuba waliwo komanda ali politiko timwe temuli komanda nammwe twabo bawa muli bakomanda kati njagala bakwate nga tebalina gwe bakwata nga tebalina gwe bakwata bakwata onono abayita nungwawa kwekyo bwe kiba kirina okubeera njagala obasaba abakulembeze bwe mugeze mu constituency zammwe muteeketeeke tiimu zammwe zibakubira kampeyini muzinyonyole nabadde eyo ku drive nendaba omwana ndowooza Honorable Hassan Kirumira yamuleese ali ludda oyo omwana omwana oyo mumpereyo omutwalo ojja kummanja nawulira omwana ng'agenda annyonnyola ebintu for a minute webale nnyo ssebo webalire ddala for a minute nga simanyiza ayogera naye ate nje mu mmotoka so abaana bano abato bali amangi wetulirewo naye bojja mulaba olabika tulina muna mutwalo eyo yeba enjiri gye tubuulira ku zidrive zaffe ku mikolo gye mugenda buli wamu abantu tubalage ekifaananyi kye twagala ng'eggwanga bakyandastanding muzimbe eggaali ezo ze ziba zikola campaign zigende door to door mugende door to door obudde bukyaliwo mutuukirire buli muntu wamanye kibino bya ddala si ebyokulondalonda mubiri nga Museveni byabadde ng'amanyi era mukozese n'ekino ekiseera okwidentifying aba polling agents abagenda okuuma akalulu kaffe tuleme kutuuka ku kiri ekiseera nga temubategeera kati mubeekennenye gwolabamu ng'alimu ebitege teekawo omulala obudde bukyaliwo mweteeketeeke wano we tugenda we wali wennyini we bayogerako njagala n'okubasaba mufune engeri ez'enjawulo ez'okuwuliziganyaamu mukimanyi bulungi nnyo okulonda nga Museveni yakulembera eggwanga saagala tutandike kwekanga mbu intaneti bagijeko obadde tomanyi tebagenda gijjako netwaka bazijjeko obadde tomanyi tebagenda giteekako bagijjako kati mutandike kati agenda okusalako intaneti nga tumugamba twakulinda toluddewo nogijjako engeri ez'enjawulo ez'okukwataganamu mwetegekere kano akalulu. Tuyingira mu phase gye bayita eyakanayo kyani mu kano akalulu. Yes, igenda kubayiraliikiriza. Kwano we batandikira okusiba abantu. Waisu ali mukomera, Edi Muto ali mukomera, Akirewa ali mukomera, Gaddafi ali mukomera, Bobi Yanga ali mukomera, Smart ali mukomera, n'abalala. Kubanga bo ye blueprint yaabwe kati mukwateko abamwetolodde. Simanya ni gwe baddako okusiba. Drone zeetala. Kana kaseera katiisa. Ne tulina choice, tulina ekyokusalawo. Kana akaseera tukatunulire nga tuyimiridde ku ludda ki? Olw'okutya oba olw'essuubi. Kuba bw'oyimirira ku ludda olw'okutya olaba buzibu bwokka na bulabe bwokka. Naye osalawo okukana akaseera okalabira ku ludda olw'essuubi olaba mumukisa. Olaba we tumukubira engwalo, olaba we tumutendulira. So nze mbasaba tutunulire opportunity, tutunulire omukisa gwe tulina. Eky'omukisa omulungi tumanyi ki kye tulwanirira. Tetuyimba bulijjo nti olutalo nga luwedde tuliyambala engule. Engule gye twawogerako si yakwambala ku mutwe kugenda ng'emasamasa. Engule gye twogerako yeeno ye Uganda empya tetugenda okuzimba. Engule eyo bweba obuyinza n'omukisa gwe tugenda okubanga tufunye, omukisa gwe tusaba bannayuganda yonna gye twetoloola gwe nkakasa nti bagenda gutuwa. Omukisa ogwo bwe bagutuwa tubalage Uganda empya bwefaanana. Abantu bamanye nti bagenda okulonda tagenze kulonda James Mubiru nedda, tagenze kulonda Nobyanli nedda, tagenze kulonda Mwanga Kigumbi oba Malende nedda, agenze kulonda Uganda empya. Amanye nti ne bwaba nga bamukwatira gasi olw'ekyo what risking for and what dying for. Era mbakakasa kino ekintu nze ntalayo buli kimu era namwe mbasaba mutale afya kubanga tujja tutuukayo. Kamalirize baganda bange nga mbeebaza olw'obuntubulamu olw'empisa. Mubadde mulaba ti wiiki bbiri eziise tetufunyeeko kabenje n'akamu okugjako emmotoka ya poliisi, emmotoka za poliisi bbiri ezajja ne zitomera abantu nga tugenda e Busunju. Tetufunye kabenje konna kubanga mubadde muvuga bulungi nnyo. Mubadde mukuuma layini yammwe wadde emmotoka nnyingi piki nnyingi naye mukuuma layini yammwe. Mbasaba mukuume empisa ezo. N'abatulugunya basuwala bishuwa gadde otutulugunya naye banoonya ensonga ekyababuze temubawa nsonga. Kamera kezigale nge batunuddemu banyige bunyuzi bagambe kawadde tewali nsonga piga huyo kale. Neffe we need to be clear, we need to be safeguarded before the eyes of the people, before the law and before God. Amen. So mbebaza nnyo olw'empisa, mbebaza nnyo olw'obuntubulamu, mbebaza nnyo olw'okubeera n'ekisa naddala security team yaffe, abaana baffe abatambulira ku boda mwenna aba foot soldiers, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Nja kwebaza abo abakuumya abantu nakibagambako nti omuntu gw'olaba ku kkubo oyo omuwala akyamuse n'afiriminga ebyo ebintu n'abiteeka ku akawunti ye atupushingira nnyo struggle yaffe. Eyo essimu eringa emmundu mweno fight tuli mu lutalo lwokuba olutalo lwaffe luli non-violent. Era eyo essimu gy'olaba mweno digital era, eyo essimu eringa mmundu. Nabagamba mufube nnyo kubaagala babbi, baagala baziba misango bajje batuzeeko emisango. Nabagamba temubakiriza, temubawa chance kutulugunya abantu baffe. Njagala bazye basange ate ffe nga tuli era omuntu yenna alina ajja okubba essimu ku mulwanyi waffe ffe buli muntu yenna kutwa bakozesa essimu okupushinga struggle yaffe oyo mulwanyi era essimu tukirabanga emmundu era baganda bange omuntu yenna alina abbako omuntu essimu nga tuli mu struggle emulaba mumuyise nga bbye emmundu kukituule kyabulabe nnyo omuntu okujja okuzza emisango muffe okujja okubba muffe esitwago yaffe teriimu babbi number one beauty y'abantu bonna bonna ba freedom fighters kubeera discipline kati omuntu ajja n'atukolamu indiscipline mumulage nti si munnaffe bwe mumala mumukwase poliisi bwe mukola ki ngamba waggulu ebinaggwera bino gye binaggwera buli kimu kijja kuba kiteredde era bwe munalaba nga buli kimu tekinaterera nga mumanya ebinaggwa mwebale nnyo mwebali eddala mu ngeri enjawulo kanneebaze era recognizinge father Kizito agudde mukono webale nnyo webalire eddala People power! Power, power! People power! People power! Power, power! People power! Everywhere! LUP! Everywhere!
Alright, oli ku Ghetto TV erinnya Buganda Ronald Mugenyi okuweereza buli kimu. olumbe olutoyo lulabise nga manifesto eyogerwako ne His Excellency Kyagulanyi Ssentamu n'abakulembeze abanjawulo bakuwadde abaana bato olunaku olwaleero abakulaze biki ebituufu byolina okukola oba biki ebiri mu manifesto. Tugenda maaso n'okuweereza kampeyini zino zonna nga bwe ziri ewatali kussa mukolo. N'olw'ensonga eyo gwe togwamu maanyi, genda maaso n'okubeera nga ku Ghetto TV. Twagala okwebaza abo bonna abavujjirizi abavuddeyo ne mutuvujjirira. Njagala okwebaza abavujjirizi abavuddeyo ne batuvujjirira mu ngeri ez'enjawulo. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala emirimu gyonna gye mukoze, ate era n'ababasheyalinga abalayikinga bongerayo enjiri eno, mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. Mukkirize mbasiibule naye nga bwetyo leero press conference bwebadde ate era bwetyo bwewedde.